before I start this, I'd like to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Orange Theory Fitness for letting me film this, and for Lindsay at the West Highlands Ranch location for actually doing all the taping for this. I really appreciate it. Orange Theory is hard to explain unless you actually go in and take a class. So instead of going in and taking a class, even though you can do so for free for your first time, I'm going to go ahead and give you a rundown of what it looks like to do an Orange Theory Fitness class. First off, I'm going to tell you why Orange Theory is so much different than any other class that you can take. They give you a heart rate monitor, or if you're a member, then you purchase a heart rate monitor from them. And you wear it to every class, and as you can see on this screen, it shows everybody's heart rate. So first off, let me explain what these colors are. The gray zone is when you're in 50 to 60% of your max heart rate. This is a totally comfortable zone. This is before you work out. Blue zone is 61 to 70% of your max heart rate. This is warming up. The green zone is 71 to 83% of your max heart rate, and this is comfortable but doable, and you're still in a somewhat fat burning zone, and you should stay in this zone for about 25 to 35 minutes of your workout. The orange zone is a zone that you're working on staying in for 12 to 20 minutes, and I'll explain why it's so important in a second, but it's supposed to be between 84 and 91% of your max heart rate. When you get into the red zone, which you don't see here, that's between 92 and 100% of your max heart rate, and this is where you are all out going as fast as you possibly can. Alright, so being in the orange zone means that you're starting the EPOC factor, and that just stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, which is also known as the afterburn. So the longer that you're in the orange zone, the more calories you're going to burn after you work out, because your body needs more oxygen to refuel and because you had a harder workout. Their mind finally went into the orange zone. Alright, so now that you know what the colors are and why they're so important, let me explain the rest of what you're looking at. The number that you see inside the circle, the percentage, is the percentage of your max heart rate that you're at, and that's individualized for everybody, and they figure that out based on your height, weight, and exercise level and all that stuff before you even start the class. The number that you see top right, mine says 16, that's how many splat points you have. So that's how many minutes you've been in the orange zone, so the afterburn zone. Right below that, you see the total calories that you've burned so far for the class, and the heart is just what your heart rate is at exactly. So I have one more thing to explain before I jump into how the class is set up. Right here is on every single treadmill, and this is how you figure out what pace you want to run or jog at. So there's a base pace, a push pace, and a sprint, which is they call all out. If you want to be a power walker and you're kind of into LISS, which is low intensity steady state, then you're probably going to be a power walker. There's a jogger option, and then there's if you're a runner. So you pretty much just pick whatever pace you're most comfortable with, and you go back and forth throughout the class on the treadmill between a base pace, push pace, and an all-out pace. So take a second to look at the chart and figure out kind of what you would be. Personally, when I do these classes, my base is 6.5, my push is 7.5, and my all-out is between 9 and 10. It says 1% incline. I like to do 3%, so it's based on your preference. So now that you know how the class works technology-wise, let me go ahead and go into how the class is set up every time you go in. So every day you go in is going to be a different day. So it's either going to be an endurance day, a strength day, or a power day. Sometimes it's two of them, sometimes it's all three of them. The class that is here happens to be all of them, and it was very difficult. 90% of the classes are going to be set up where the first 30 minutes is going to be on the treadmill, going between the base pace, push pace, and an all-out pace, depending on what kind of day it is. And then the next 30 minutes is what they call the floor, which is lifting and the rowing machine. The whole point behind the treadmill is to get your heart rate, going up and down, and then getting you in that orange zone right there that you can see for as long as possible for the best results. An idea of what it would look like on a power day, it'd start out with a 5-minute base pace, a 3-minute push pace, a 1-minute base pace, a 2-minute push pace, a 1-minute base pace, and then like a minute all out, and it would keep doing that for the totality of like the 30 minutes. And that's just an example. Every day is different, and every single workout is different too. It's unbelievable how much progress I've seen in myself in the last, 4 or 5 classes. I'm able to run at a higher speed for longer, more incline, etc., etc. Like my agility and my overall endurance has gone up tremendously since starting it. Another reason I love doing it is the community, and I love doing it with my parents. My parents do it too. So not only is it a fantastic workout that totally kicks your butt, I love doing it with my family. One thing that I should mention, when I say the first part is running, the second part is lifting, that's if you start on the treadmill. You can absolutely choose to start on the floor. So there is always an instructor who is telling you what to do and when to do it. So while you're on the treadmills, they tell you whether you're going to be in a base, push, or all-out pace, and they tell you for how long you're going to be doing it. If you have any questions, obviously they're there. They're there for the entire class. And then when you get on the floor, there is always a screen. It shows you what exercise and movements you're going to do, and then they demo it before we start. In 90% of the classes, what it's going to be is a row for X number of meters, and then you're going to hurry up and go to the floor and go and do your lifting exercises. And yeah, you can see that she's demoing some stuff right now. So depending on what day it is, depends on if you're going to be lifting heavy or light or body weight.
1 minute into that 2-minute push. Plank jacks are looking good in here, nice and soft on those toes. I like it. I said, are you ready? All right, at 3, 2, 1, go!
So some days like this day are special days where you go back and forth between the treadmill and the floor and between the rower and the floor. So right now I'm on like a 200-meter sprint row, and you go straight over to the treadmill as soon as it starts up. They take a little bit of time. But then you're going to go like into a base pace, and then she'll tell you to go into a push pace, and then you go into an all-out pace, and then you would go back to the rower. But that's just what today happened to be. So all in all, the whole point is to get your heart rate up. There's always lots of cardio, there's lifting. You're going to try a lot of new movements that you've probably never done before. Your endurance is going to go up, your strength is going to go up. The people are amazing who work there, the coaches are amazing. Everybody is so supportive. It is just a fantastic community. It's always a kick butt workout, but like any workout, you get out of it what you put into it. So the harder you work, the more you're going to get out of it. But my favorite thing about Orange Theory is the fact that because you're wearing the heart rate monitor, I can look at the screen at any time and be like, wow, okay, I'm really pushing myself. I've burned a ton of calories. I have a crazy amount of splat points. Or I can look up there and say, you know what, I'm kind of half-assing it, for lack of better words, and so I need to pick up my pace. So let's talk prices. How much does it cost to be a member of Orange Theory? So there are 3 main basic packages. So there's the Orange Basic, where there are 4 sessions per month. There's the Orange Elite, where there's 8 sessions per month, and the Orange Premier, which is an unlimited number of sessions per month. For the 4 sessions per month, I believe it's $75 a month. For the 8 classes a month, which is what I have, it is $90 a month, and for the unlimited, it's $120 a month. So there's a couple things that you should know. First of all, your first class is free when you're trying it out. Second of all, there are no contracts, so it's not where you have to pay, every month for 6 months. You're not locked into a contract. But you also do need to know that if you're planning on not doing it the next month, you have to give them 30 days notice. So just so you're completely aware, you are not able to go in and sign up for 1 month and then not be obligated to pay the next month, because you would have to put in a cancellation notice the same day that you put in for your 1 month membership to cancel it the next month, and they don't allow you to do that. So in my experience, when you go in for the first time to sign up, you would have to know that you're going to have to do it for at least 2 months, even though there's no contract, because you have to give 30 days notice, and you can't quit after just 1 month, or they would ask you to, instead of doing one of those packages I told you about, do either a 10, 20, or 30 session package that doesn't expire for an entire year. However, those are definitely more expensive. When you sign up, you also have to buy one of their heart rate monitors, which I believe are about $70. So is there any good news to the pricing, ? Yes, if you give them my name, Nicole Perry, and tell them that I go to the West Highlands Ranch, Colorado location, you will get $10 off your heart rate monitor and $10 off your monthly fee. I really hope this answered some questions and kind of showed you what Orange Theory is about.